Ding 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 ding.
Bubble time. Bubble time.
What are you laughing so hard for?
Because of you. Before we were doing vocal.
We're doing vocal warm-ups. Oogada, oogada, ogada, agada, igada, igada. Oost, oost.
My favorite one when I was in New
Oh,
York
I know.
conservatory was you would do with your jaw. Wait a minute, we didn't introduce who we are.
Oh, hi, I'm Teresa Tomey.
And I'm Patrick Ziegler.
And we are
Fubble Entertainment.
And this is
Fubble Time.
You're supposed to sing it.
Fubble Time.
There you go. He's got a nice voice.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Oh my God, laughing. So we were doing warm-ups.
And you're not even drinking.
No. Completely sober, but excited about our guests. So that's why we're silly. We're silly.
Oh, so I got to type to people. Where are you? Who's watching?
Come on in.
Where are you?
Patrick likes to put a little note up. So if you have a chance to comment, please do. We welcome you to do that. Patrick and I started this podcast,
vodcast.
Yay, Kevin's here.
I was just going to say, is Kevin here?
I'm friends with, hi Deb, thank you for joining us. I'm friends with Kevin now on Facebook and he.
You are?
Yeah, and he's hilarious. Yay. We've been doing this to talk to creative folks from different paths. And so we're excited to have Amy and Jesse on with us tonight. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, the musicians. So, all right.
Martin from Santa Monica. Or Kevin, you bird watcher, yay. But Martin, Santa Monica.
All right. Welcome from across the, faithful spouseful unit here. Fred Stella from my basement where I keep them. He comes out occasionally. But not like Patrick's husband, but
right. Yeah.
We get it. Amy and Jesse Hughes met in Chicago in 2008, despite being in their 20s at the time. That might have well been the day they were born. That's so sweet. They quickly connected musically and formed the duo Chariot in 2010. They gigged weekends in New England before getting married and moving to Southwest Florida to bring their fun take on classic oldies and modern favorites to the island scene. Outside of their acoustic pop shenanigans, they've appeared as lead actors and singers in numerous productions with Naples Players and which is one of the highest rated community theaters in the nation. I would say Grand Rapids, Michigan also is right up there.
But I've seen productions at Naples Players and they're fantastic. I saw Jesse in She Loves Me, which is one of my favorite plays.
Nice. They recently rediscovered God in their lives through their spiritual community at Unity Naples, which might be why we met them, which has refocused their approach to discovering, experiencing, and writing music. So that's going to be fun to chat with them about too. So please join us in welcoming Amy and Jesse Hughes.
Yay!
Hi all.
Hi guys. How are you?
When I read Amy that blurb at the beginning about that being the day we were born, she was like, ugh. She's like, the cheese.
It's layered with cheese, but if it's free, it's good.
That's my gig.
He is cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's good.
So I want to know, any people watching, friends of yours, is Deborah Thurston a friend of yours?
She's my mama.
Oh, that's your mom?
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's a friend. You can say she's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know Martin?
Martin.
I've seen him on here before, so I'm wondering, I think he might be a Fubble follower. Yay. Yeah. Martin.
A fubbler.
And Kevin, put up the Kevin quote real quick, because he said, wait, because no, not that one. The weekends in New England. As musicians, you might know that reference.
Did you get that?
It's a Barry Manilow quote.
Lyric. Yeah.
I don't think I know directly.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Stumped you.
That's an artist we haven't covered yet, so I'll write that down.
You haven't? You haven't done it?
I didn't even think. I don't think so. No, I'd have to check.
Is it Sweet Caroline?
No.
Neil Diamond.
No, I just schooled her. She's usually the one schooling me. So
and the only reason that I know that is because Mark is a huge Neil Diamond fan.
He would be.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Barry song. It's a Barry song.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So we'll look that up.
For sure.
There you go.
Well, I am so happy you guys are doing this, and Teresa is too. And such new, wonderful friends in our lives. And also, we'll just start right at the beginning and say, and new parents.
Yes.
Baby
Brandon.
Eleanor. Jesse, get the photo. Look at
I'll
him.
get the photo out. Hold on.
Yes. she-
It's like a Pavlovian response. Baby.
Exactly.
It really
Literally
is.
at work, people will come up and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. I don't even ask. Like, you want to see a picture?
Yeah. She's
This is one of my favorites because she has this little smile.
Oh my God.
And she does do it when I sing to her.
yes.
When I
Oh,
place my hands on her in a certain way.
Yay.
Yeah, she'll give me a little smile if I talk to her a certain way. So
yeah.
she knows what Daddy's voice sounds like.
She looks like that because came very early at 7 months, and she's 2 pounds 9 ounces. So she has to get a little extra help in the NICU right now.
Well, we are so glad that day by day she's just getting stronger and more wonderful. And like Mark said, and I loved what you said on Saturday. That was amazing. Or Sunday, Amy, about we think we have an idea of how life is supposed to go, and the universe, God says, "Oh, really?" And baby Ellie said, "No, I want to come out now."
Yeah.
And she's been having her way ever since.
Oh yeah.
Full of energy. She was in her belly full of energy, but yeah, she's just like, "I'm gonna be fine." She tells us that every time we're there. She's like, "I'm gonna be fine."
Yeah.
Nice. Martin says, "Congrats."
Thank you, Martin.
So one of the things that we always start out our show, our new show that we're doing, which is so fun, is we want to know where and how, or do you remember getting bitten by the entertainment creative bug?
So we'll take you back before the two of you were together.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah. So I feel like music has always been in my life since I can remember, thanks to my mother. I was taking dance lessons, so young, singing lessons. I played the violin for a while there.
Wow.
I was in plays, I want to say starting at maybe around 9 years old. All of that was happening around 8 or 9 years old. So I was hitting every facet of music and theater. I think Annie was my first show. It's, as an orphan, the way that you always break into the business is through Annie as one of the 80 orphans in a massive community theater.
Where was this, Amy?
This was in New England.
New England. Okay.
In Massachusetts, yeah.
Okay.
Most of my growing up years was in Massachusetts. So that's where it started for me. What about you?
Dang. I grew up in a really big family. My dad has been involved in contemporary Christian radio for over 50 years. So music was a part of my life just right out the gate. My family was just steeped in all things creativity, music. We had singers, we had players. So my older brother was my role model growing up, and he was a piano player, and he started writing music early. So I started singing with him. I would do backup tracks for a while. When I remember the first time I sang in front of people, I was 13 years old at church, and I sang a song by Chris Rice called Big Enough. And that just kind of set me into expressing myself through music. And it has been my primary form of expression. When I can't say something, I can sing it, When I was 16, my brother said, "Let's go out and start playing together. You need to learn an instrument." I play the piano, so why don't you learn the guitar? So I picked up the guitar and just fell in love with it, started writing music and playing with him. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. We formed a band. Eventually we had rotating members, but me and my brother were always there playing together and writing music together and doing covers together. And until I, got into college and kind of went off and started doing my own thing. He was definitely the hugest influence on me musically. So that's what got me into playing and singing and writing.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Southwest Kansas. I was born in South
you're
Carolina.
in
Go ahead.
You're in Kansas. You're in New England. Then how we meet in Chicago?
Yeah. That was an interesting one. So I was in college in Massachusetts, and I was on the speech and debate team, and he was in college on his speech and debate team in Kansas, and we both happened to be in Chicago at a national debate competition, and we debated against each other.
Guess who won the debate?
I'm gonna guess Amy.
Yes.
She still does.
Yes.
It sets the right dynamic for the relationship.
Yes.
The rest of
We
that.
started off well.
Yes.
Yeah, I directed my husband in a play. No,
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
Cute. Yeah.
Can you tell real quick? Do you mind telling real quick the story of the parking lot?
Oh, you mean the subway?
No. Wasn't there a moment of you guys bonded so well, and then you had to leave?
We walked away. The
Oh.
hallway, the hotel hallway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, why do I think it's a parking lot? That's
No, it was a parking lot. So,
Was it? Oh, okay.
so the debate competition was at a resort, and so, they used a lot of the conference rooms, but they also there was so many people there that you debated in actual hotel rooms and used ironing boards and stuff like that. And all of the people who were there from their colleges, they stayed in the resort. So it was a week-long event.
Wow.
And so we met each other pretty early on, day two in the event. So we would cross each other in the halls. And so then we exchanged numbers, and then we'd go play on the tennis court, and, we'd have dinner at the restaurant inside the resort. So we had a nice little courtship there. So, the last day we were, going to be taking our flights back to our places. When I said goodbye to him, I really thought that was the last time I was going to see him again. And I exited out of the resort and was walking across the parking lot, and I wept so hard that I had to sit down in the middle of the parking lot and cry my eyes out, because I just, something inside me knew that was something intense that I was hoping I wouldn't lose.
Then I came out, picked her up,
Lies.
and we ran off into the
And you wrote a song. And played for her. Yeah. I just like that, because it was in that moment that you just knew that there was more, right?
Something changed, everything changed, but I didn't know how to put it into words. So I just bawled my eyes out.
So when did you have a long distance relationship for a while?
Probably a year.
Yeah, it was a year.
Yeah, a year of long distance. It started out very slow friendship, and then it was long distance relationship.
Yeah.
But
I actually, for our first year, she had moved by that point from New England to Florida and worked at Disney World in Animal Kingdom. She was in the internship program there. And for her Valentine's Day gift, which was close to when we had been together for a year, I had put together a book that had poetry and songs I'd written for her, and it included transcripts of our conversations that I kept because we were chatting. This was texting
AOL.
wasn't huge for us yet then. This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we chatted on MSN Messenger, so basically AOL.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
I had everything, and I didn't even know I had everything saved until I found a folder in my computer. I was like, oh my God, here's all our chats. So I pulled out the best conversations we had and put snippets of it in there. So it was a cool little review of our year.
Cheese.
So, cheese.
That's good cheese.
Creativity and romance. And look what Darius added. When it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Absolutely.
Darius. Thanks for being with us.
Darius was our guest a couple weeks ago. Very talented man. So when then you guys went to New York, when did that happen? And because I know that New York really wasn't your gig, and do share the subway story.
So New York was something that growing up, I was very theater based. Jesse was very band based, but I was theater based. So growing up in middle school, high school, I wanted to be on Broadway, and it was always my dream. But by the time I got to my senior year, I talked myself out of it. And so I, found a major in college that I thought was responsible, and I put it into the back of my mind. And then I met Jesse, and then we started doing band stuff together, and I was just living a normal life, and we were trying to figure out where our next step was. And I told him that I needed to go to New York, and I needed to give it a try, because I couldn't see the rest of my life. I couldn't see children. I couldn't see where I wanted to live. My future was just blank, because I needed to go to New York. And he had never been to New York. a boy from Kansas, and he was like, okay, let's go to New York. So then we got married, and like 3 months later, we're packing up a truck and driving up to New York without a place to live, really. We had a friend who was going to let us stay with him for a month. And in that time, we had to find a place. And it was crazy. Like New York, if you can get into New York and like find a place to live in New York, then that's a feat.
That's step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Oh, what happened in the subway? Yeah, I'm like, now I want to know about the
you
subway.
wanna tell
The
us
subway
something?
story. So we're both working. She works at Sephora. I work at Best Buy. I get on the subway one night near, it's like halfway between, far uptown and Times Square. And I sit down and I get out my Game Boy. I'm playing video games like I usually do on the subway to pass the time till I get home. It's like a half-hour trip, and people are getting up, leaving the subway. And it gets down to the last couple of people because we're on one of the last stops. And I just glance over to my right, and the entire ride, she's been sitting next to me.
Like
But this is the
this.
middle of winter, and we're all bundled up. Everyone's got a big black jacket on, and we
Everybody's
got
got
our
their
hats on. We got our
headphones
headphones in. And I was just like, babe. And she was just like,
we just looked at each
the
other.
whole time.
Like,
And
how
then we
did
were
that
like,
happen?
we got to leave. No, that was,
That is insane.
yeah.
Of all the people, thousands of people and train stops, he could have been on any car in that train.
Mhm.
The Best Buy and Sephora, they were on complete opposite sides of the city. And yeah, we just.
What I also love
wanna
about
know-
it, though,
Go ahead.
I love that you were sitting next to each other and you didn't at any moment like, what does this person next to me look like?
No,
Like,
that's
No,
the thing.
I love-
We were like this, and
We were so
that was just
tight.
how it was. But by that point, we were the only two people sitting there, and we were still
And we
just
were
like,
still stuck to each other. But that's how it is in New York. You do not want to look anybody in the eyes on the train.
right.
That's what makes
Yeah,
you
it was
New
like-
Yorkers, man. Darius says that is comedy right there. Yeah, that's what makes you guys New Yorkers. I want to know which Best Buy it was. Really important.
86 in Lexington.
On the east side or
Oh,
something?
Lexington. That's
Yeah.
East.
East
that's
side.
east.
East,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It was,
you said it was up because I just went to a Best Buy last year. I was at a Best Buy in New York that was pretty far up. It was like 78th, but it was on the west side.
Yeah, I think I've been to that one too. Yeah, it was a really good spot. Like it was busy. It was New York, but it wasn't absolutely insane. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
And I worked in Times Square.
Oh,
yeah. That
We
was-
worked at, isn't Sapporo where the roundabout used to be? Is it right on the corner of 40 or 51st and 8th? I mean, at 51st and Broadway? No,
It's
wait a minute. Not 45th and Broadway.
no, wait. I mean, 34 and
I lived at 51st and 8th. That's why I did.
I don't think so. It's the one right next to where Aladdin is playing.
yeah,
right now.
it was like,
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
or Aladdin was playing. So how was the theatrical experience? Like, what made you?
oh man.
I mean, what did it chew you up?
Horrible.
It-
Oh my goodness, it was horrible
because
it's a hustle, and you have to love the hustle. So the audition season is in the smack dead of winter.
Mhm.
So you are, as a woman, as I can only speak to that, but as a woman at 3:00 in the morning, you have to wake up and put on your snowsuit and go down to the bottom of Manhattan and sign a raggedy piece of paper on a building that's just been taped to the side of a building. And you go to sign your name and you're the 100th person who's signed their name. And then you have to go back home, take a shower, pack your cocktail dress and your heels, put on your snowsuit again, go back down to the building at like 8:00 because that's when the doors open. And then you're in a room with everybody. There's 200 people and 5 chairs. So then all the women are sitting there with their curling irons, like curling their hair and putting their dresses on. Meanwhile, the guys are in jeans and a t-shirt. And then like the person comes out at like 2:00 in the afternoon and says, okay, if you can't do a backflip, you can go. Like that literally happened to me once. I had to work at like 3 and 2:00. The guy comes out and says, if you can't do a backflip, you might as well leave. And I was just like,
Can't you put that on the sign up sheet?
peace.
Like,
That's terrible. That's so shitty.
Yeah, it's just, you really have to, you have to be okay with not doing any theater for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that was my problem. You know, the year that we were in New York was the least musical year of our lives.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
seriously, the least musical year of our lives.
Believe it or not, from when we went to New York to probably our first 2, maybe 3 years here, I did not play my guitar. Like that was just, I played going into New York because it was a new experience and I was writing, but then I had to work, and then there's commuting, and you have to work a lot, you know, to pay for New York and get used to life there. And I really did love New York. I made so many great friends and had a good time, but I wasn't creative. And it was, you know, and
So
it was
interesting.
it wasn't until I got involved with the theater here that I picked my guitar back up and was just like, wow, it's been so long.
I had a friend early on who said to me, when I was thinking of moving out to LA, I think it was, or New York, I was trying to figure out what was going on. And he said to me, because I was in Michigan at the time, Grand Rapids, doing a lot of community theater, directing a lot and having a nice little life here doing theater and improv and other things. And he said, do you want to be famous or do you want to work? Do you love the work? And I said, I love the work. And he said, then don't go to LA or New York. Like that was his advice. Then I told him that after I moved out to California part-time years later, a few years ago, I said, you know, Rodney, this is what you said to me. And he goes, I said that to you? That's horrible. I should have told you. Because you'd be running this town by now. But I wouldn't have met my husband doing, you know, I mean, so community theaters provided you guys with a lot of opportunities and experience. So you're like, okay, we got to get out of Dodge. How the heck do you was it your Disney experience that brought you so much joy that put you back in Florida, or
that was before New York,
or not Disney? That's what I mean. Did it make you go, oh, let's go back to Florida?
No, I actually did not want to live in Florida because of my Disney experience.
Okay.
Wow.
And not the Disney experience, just the area surrounding Disney is very commercialized and very dirty. And no offense to anybody who lives in Orlando, just the area around Disney is not that nice.
Didn't feel like home.
It didn't. Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like home. And I thought that's what Florida looked like because that's the only place I'd seen. But my mom moved down here for a job opportunity, and so when we were leaving New York, we said, okay, we got to pick parents. Where are we going to go?
We get to live with our parents until we find a place to live. So do we live with our parents in Georgia, or do we live with her parents in Florida?
And we just decided to go with Florida first and haven't left.
I was
So you didn't do it because of knowing the amazing community theater here?
No.
I did know about the theater, but that wasn't a huge deciding factor. It was just kind of like pick a parent and see how it goes.
Yeah, because there's a lot of your mom just put up a heart.
Yeah, we love your mom.
Really,
just amazing.
So talk a little bit about how two things. Talk a little bit about how you guys started tapping into the community theater here, but also I want to know, when did you guys start doing music together, gigging in that whole world as well? So there's two there, and you got to perform together on stage in Guys and Dolls, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to go back to how Chariot formed, like how that started, or you're talking about Naples Players?
Do both. Like where do they land within each other? I mean, if they probably land after, right? Because you weren't really doing a lot of music.
Well, Chariot was before New York, so we when we met in Chicago, music came up like day 2 or 3. And I had
and tell what Chariot is, because you're talking Chariot.
We'll talk about that. I had a music MySpace that I showed her because I didn't have a guitar with me. We had to fly, and I didn't bring my guitar to the debate tournament. So there was a period, like a 24-hour period at the debate tournament, where we were looking for a guitar. Like we would walk around, and a lot of times you'll have a person, like if they're local and there's creative people there, there's going to be a guitar, and we could not find one. There was a piano, and I think I tinkled something out. I used to play piano, but we never did find a guitar. But when we finally, got together, we moved in together, we started playing and singing together. It was just kind of natural. We were both singers. I remember being, I guess it was New England, because we had started playing. Yes. Our first gig was a wedding that Amy's mom got us, and we started playing music together. And so we were trying to come up with a name. And so Chariot, what Chariot means to us is music is a vehicle to take you to somewhere better. So music just speaks to us in such a way. Like I said, if I can't say it, if I'm trying to talk about even just a song and I'm like, this isn't coming out right, let me just sing the song and then you'll get it. That's what music is for me. So Chariot is the best vehicle that you can take anywhere. And that's what music is for us. So that's what the name means to us. Where it came from was me flipping through my phone and going through songs that we both really liked and going, well, we could call ourselves Brown Eyed Girl. How does that sound? Well, we could, so it was like, So when we got to Chariot by Gavin DeGraw, which is the first artist that we connected on together, and we're like, you like Gavin DeGraw? I like Gavin DeGraw. Yeah. So that song became the name of our band. And then that meaning came from that, which is really cool.
Yeah. And what is your website, you guys?
Oh, chariotduo.com.
And it's Chariot.
Mm-hmm. Duo.com.
That I know. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Then we started playing in New England. We did that for a couple years and then went to New York. And because she was going to focus on theater, I then went from Chariot to Jesse Hughes. And I was like, I'm going to be Jesse Hughes in New York and play. And I did a couple open mics and then was like, well, now I got to get a job. And then I stopped playing.
So then we moved down here and, I want to say within like the first month I auditioned.
Right at it. Yeah.
I auditioned for the Naples Players, right away. And cause I had come down to visit my mom a few times and saw a show that I was just amazed that was a community theater. So I auditioned for that show and that was Oklahoma. And then I never stopped. Like I would literally audition for the next show while I was finishing up the show. I was in.
Fun.
Yeah, I was full blown deep in it all the time. And then I auditioned for the Rocky Horror Show, and I had become really good friends at that point with everybody, and everybody knew of Jesse, but had never heard him sing or do anything like that. And the directors came up to me at the audition and said, "Can you ask Jesse if he would like to audition for the show?" And I was like, wow, okay, you've never heard him sing before, but that sounds cool. So then I went home and I was like, hey, the second day of auditions is tomorrow. Do you want to audition for the show?
And I was like, sure, but I'm gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's like I was still in my I wasn't singing.
He was like, playing. I need a guitar in my hand in order to perform.
Yeah.
So he got the lead.
Were you guys the couple?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't Janet, but he was Brad. And 2 months later was in a tighty whitey on stage.
Definitely the most out there role I've done. And it was a fun one to start with.
Oh
the cast was amazing.
Yeah, baptism by fire there where theater was.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We auditioned, got the parts, and then I was like, I should probably watch this. I had no idea what Rocky Horror was. Yeah. So we watched the movie, and I was like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Yeah,
that's great. Well, good for you. Well, obviously, you're people who take plunges on some level because, your relationship was a plunge. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your moves have been plunges. What drives you to make these decisions? Like what?
I think we just push each other into situations. It's usually one of us has an idea or is given an opportunity to do something, and we just like pull the other one into it. Yeah. Like, I need help.
Yeah. It is a group effort, and we definitely couldn't do it without each other.
Yeah. It's always opportunities that just come to us, and we just don't say no.
Yeah, because that's the key. Don't say no.
We just always are just like, that's crazy. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Well, and you come from a spiritual background. Do you also, Amy?
I don't. No.
So Jesse, you come from a spiritual Jesse, you come from a spiritual background. Then how does it go from singing? I'm assuming it was the music that you played with your brother. Was it Christian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian family. A lot of my values come from that, and we sang contemporary Christian music. Grew up with Michael W. Smith, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Chris
right?
And I still listen to their music, and it still has a big impact on me.
So how do you go from there to Brad?
Good question.
Yeah, I remember getting the role and calling my parents to tell them I got a role, but you can't come see it. I fell out of faith, I guess you could say, getting into college and discovering life on my own, and thought I was agnostic. There was a period of time where I thought maybe I'm atheist. But I always had this, I guess, a spark in me that believed there was something, and I didn't know what to call it. It was, spirit. It was the soul. There's some magic to life that you have to feel to know it. And I think everyone feels it at a certain point, and you either grab onto it and go, what's this? Or you decide, you let it be, and then it falls away. But that was always there for me, even during the periods when I was like, maybe God doesn't exist as a, character in the sky or whatever. But we, jumping, way ahead, we found spirituality again through, and you really, for the first time, found spirituality through Unity. It was Charlie who directs music at the theater, became, great friends with him, did many shows with him. And then he was running music at Unity Naples before Mark and Patrick were there. And he would bring in people from the theater to sing, to be the featured singer. And you would have, your Surely the Presence and your Lord's Prayer. Everyone sang that song, but then you would have one or two songs that you brought to the table. That was what brought us to Unity. And there was actually, I don't know, it was the music director who was there before Suzanne, who was there right before us, had actually approached us and asked us, we had sang once and asked us to do it regularly. And I wasn't really there. Like, I wasn't there time-wise. I wasn't that committed spiritually yet. So the opportunity came and went with that. And then Suzanne found out about us and said, hey, I've heard you play at the theater. I want you to sing. And the first the first service we did, it's a show with Mark. When Mark was there was his birthday, and we did the usual songs. And what was the song? It's a miracle. We did that song. Who sings that?
Oh, miracle come true.
No, I
made a point.
I think it's Barry Manilow. It's Barry Manilow. Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, is it Barry Manilow? Is Kevin watching?
Yeah.
Kevin, do you know? Miracle song?
My dad is here, and he's a huge fan of you guys. He loves music, and he says you are just great. Blessings to you and your new baby.
Oh,
and then share what Martin's put up there.
Martin says, is there a fave song you sing to your newborn?
Well, I hum "You Are My Sunshine" to her all the time. I feel like it's just a sweet song. And right now we don't get too ambitious in the NICU. I don't want to show off.
Bringing in my guitar. Like,
there are other babies that we need to make sure we don't wake up. But I hum "You Are My Sunshine." We wrote a song for her actually, and posted it on Facebook as a gender reveal. So I definitely
that's clever.
It was great.
I definitely plan on singing that to her.
Yeah.
And you're singing a new song this Sunday, right? That you guys wrote?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We started writing it a couple months ago. We had like the hook, and then I finished it in a little coffee shop next to the hospital last week. So yeah, really excited to do it. It's going to be like a feature song this week, but I want it to be a chant, which is a song that's sung at the beginning of first service. And then I think our continuous offering song, if Mark's feeling it, if he likes it.
We got to audition our song for Mark this weekend.
I'm putting up Unity Naples up here for anybody that wants to hear you on a regular basis. But I am just so intrigued, and I love, what you said on Sunday, Amy, was so powerful. And I just love how you guys being a part of Unity has opened you up to something new and possible. And I just find it very beautiful that you shared so freely on Sunday. And has that been a part of who you are? I mean, or did Unity open that for you? Or
so growing up, church was just something that would happen every once in a blue moon, really. Different people in my family were religious, but I was never attached to any church significantly. But for some reason, whenever I entered a church, just randomly, like sometimes I would go, whenever we'd go to visit his family, we'd go to a church, I'd get very emotional, like almost crying emotional, like something was pulling me, but I did not feel attached to what was being said at the service. But I felt a strong energy of that there was something pulling me. but I just never connected with the words. So then when we started performing at the church, I just listen and take it in. And then slowly, like, there'd be services where I was crying, and then we'd have the service, and then we'd get in our car and we'd start talking about it. And, we'd always be like, oh, that was a really cool thing that he said and all that kind of stuff. But then there was I remember there was one ride home where I was like, this is it for me.
Yeah.
Like, there's something here, and I think this is our church.
Yeah.
And we have never discussed, needing a church or needing spirituality. It just kind of happened slowly and naturally through this process, and through how Mark, there's no judgment at all for anything. And you can sit there and get nothing, and he would be totally happy that you sat there and just tried it. There's never been a well, what do you think? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Like, there's none of that there. So it's been a very natural, beautiful experience.
I remember, talking about service on the way home one day and getting home, and I was just like, this is I'm 100% in this. You are too.
Yeah.
Right? You remember that?
Yeah, we were just both are you
there's
totally...
nothing about this that I don't love and feel just totally inspired by.
Yeah.
And it's just,
you'll love Mark's comment, who's just piped in.
Oh, you needed it.
Well, Jesse sure did.
Mark's like my big brother.
Oh, look what Darius wrote.
Digital noogie.
Oh, I'm listening to you.
Darius just wrote, oh my God,
Oh.
I just listened to your cover of I'm Gonna Be.
Oh, sweet.
I will so be featuring you on my Twitch stream.
On the Twitch.
Your voices are like butter and warm bread.
Darius, which one is butter and which one is warm bread?
Oh, man. I don't know. I think I'm butter.
It's all good. I want to know, before we lose you guys, I want to know what gifts do you think your creativity, is there any one thing that your creativity has given you that you're grateful for? I'm sure there's a lot of things, but what rises to the top maybe?
Change. Like, creativity gives me change, and that's hard for me because I am a creature of habit. Like, she'll definitely tell you that. And she's brought so much change to my life and continues to be that agent of change for me. But creativity is what is within me that allows me to change what no one else can. That's it. Cool. It's change. Yeah.
Creativity is just a comfort for me. I feel lucky that I get to sing, and I don't know, it calms me. Any kind of creativity. I do a lot of crafting, and I do all kinds of things, creatively, and it just calms me down. And I hope that when I sing, I bring calm to other people.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing singers. I mean, really, that's what I just thought. I was like, you both, how interesting. You bring change and you bring comfort in what you do, which is beautiful. You're getting some great comments. Martin says you are a most delightful couple. I can feel the spirit of love by listening to you. Feeling the unity.
Nice.
And then Roxanne, you guys know Roxanne Southern?
Yeah. Hi, Roxanne.
Yay. And just
Amy, that's it.
And Amy is the butter.
I'm the support. I'm there, and then she just does her thing. Like, that's it. That's what it is.
That's great. Very fun.
It was such a joy having you guys.
Real quick, we have something for you guys. We have a surprise for you guys.
Oh, real quick. Really quick.
Real quick. This is literally 10 seconds long. But I thought of like the for your production company. You don't have to use this. This is just for fun. But I thought of like the touchstone thing when you finish a movie. It's like do 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 do. This is your like sounder at the end of the show or the end of the movie or whatever. Okay, I gotta remember it. Okay, ready. Ding 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 ding. Fubble time.
Yay!
Oh my gosh! Oh.
So anyway, that's for you guys. I haven't seen every episode.
Such a joy in my life, and I am so blessed. I'm tearing up. I love being around you guys, and during this time, it was so great connecting with you every week via StreamYard. It was so hard to just all of a sudden we were all like can't be around each other. We started doing and coming back and at least being in the same vicinity every Sunday has just been beautiful. And Mark and I just adore you guys and are so grateful. You bring such a beautiful energy on so many levels to Unity that was needed at the time and is continually blessing Unity in the community. So if anything, if you're not religious, just tune into Unity Naples just to hear Amy.
You'll get
Do it,
something
and
else.
you will. Yeah, something else will come from that. So
Yes.
we promise.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you so much.
So much, you
Such a
guys. That
pleasure.
was fabulous.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Ah,
I know that made me
Wow.
too. I
totally.
want to have an outro.
That was so sweet. That
So
was so sweet. And what I say about them, they're just so talented and
Oh my
so
God! I want to put them in a jar.
nice.
Put them in a jar. That's a Teresa and Patrick reference. But just
We were writing a script, and Teresa was all excited about this thing she came up about putting them in a jar. So
I know, Mark. We have a new exit song. It's so good.
is Mark chiming in? They are adorable. Yes.
And Martin, yes, they are. They are adorable. Well, thank you so much. I don't know if you saw your email today, but we've got our confirmed guest for next week.
Yes, I responded back and said, "Yay, good."
Okay, so do we want?
Sure.
We have. I'll
Yeah.
make sure I'll get everything because we need to confirm the time and everything. So I just want to make sure.
Follow us on the social medias.
Follow us on the social medias: Facebook at Fubble Entertainment, Twitter. I think that's it.
Instagram.
Instagram, and we're on the Instagram. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us as we enjoyed Amy and Jesse. And we will be back here again next week at 7 p.m.
With more creative couples.
with more creative couples. But until then, we say,
Got to get out of here.
gotta go.